start with, could you like introduce yourself to the viewers and kind of let them know like about Slab, about your crowdfunding kickassery, about what you've done, all that stuff?
Okay, well, basically, my name is Vlad, and I've been a serial entrepreneur for the last 6 years, living in China, Bali, like Indonesia, Philippines, and I just decided to go for the crowdfunding platform, like the Kickstarter in this way. I decided to make a wallet, the travel wallet, that will allow people to have the access to the cash. Like when, let's say you want to bribe a cop, so one part, and there's going to be another one where you put your like bigger bills. So that was the basic idea. It's a 3-plate magic wallet, and that's what I did.
Cool.
And the basic idea was like, it wasn't even like about the wallet, but it was like everybody was talking about crowdfunding platform, but very few people actually did it. So for me, it was like an experiment. It was a test, like if I can do it from start till the end.
Right. And it took you a few tries before you finally got your full funding, right?
Yes, definitely. First one was a very emotional try. Like it was an Indiegogo, and I raised $500. And then there was the Kickstarter campaign. I actually hired comment partners, and I spent about $3,000 up front, plus the commission if they make it happen. And the second campaign was also a failure. And after that, I took it in my own hands. And again, the second campaign, I spent about $3,000 in professional pictures and professional video. I think that was my mistake. I outsourced everything to professionals instead of doing it myself. And the third campaign was on the edge when I decided either do it or don't do it. And I was very close to like just give up on that. But and I did my own home video on the porch of Montreal in Plateau, and it actually worked out.
Right on. Cool. And could you outline like in broad strokes, and I guess for both the failed campaigns and for the successful one, how you ran your campaign from like conception of, I'm going to run a campaign to like, getting all the content ready and getting it out there and the fulfillments and all that. And I'm as interested in the failures as I am in the successes.
Okay, so basically, the biggest success was my girlfriend is a professional copywriter, so she actually rewrote the whole copy for me. And what I did like I made a very emotional video. It's just like it's a one-shot video, and it took me like exactly 28 hours from start to beginning. And I just decided like I'm gonna do it the way I see it, just simple words, no professional stuff. Like I have this microphone echoes and stuff like that, so it's irrelevant. But I delivered the message across. And first of all my previous backers got back to me, and I get a lot of new backers just because it was not professional video. It was simple. It was me on the camera explaining people what it is.
Interesting.
And showing people how the product works.
So do you think that there's actually an advantage to having a obviously somewhat amateur aspect to the video because it makes it more personal?
It's like here's what I learned within the Kickstarter. There is no foolproof strategy. It's a creative space. And whoever tells you that we know how to do a campaign is bullshit, because the creator itself is the one who has to do all the job. The creator is the one who invested time in building the prototypes. He invested in the idea. So all he needs is maybe guidance is the best way, but never buy anything like if people tell you we know exactly what to do. It's very emotional. It's very hard. It's full-time job. Like it's gonna take you 20 hours a day for 30 days, or whoever, like how long you choose your campaign to be alive on the Kickstarter. Like you cram yourself into a very confined space. Like if you claustrophobic, you fucked. It's very hard.
Right.
Like, and then it's like, I read a lot of blog posts when people say, okay, like if you want to do the proper campaign on like six number, project, you have to do it 9 months in advance, even before you launch. I didn't do it. It was a cowboy approach. And I'm not saying this is the right way to do, but it is something like 3 years ago when I learned what the Kickstarter is, all you could do is just throw the project. And like people were hungry for new ideas and everything. But now it became like a really, really hard and competitive space.
Right.
Like if anyone ran the eBay, if you want to sell, I don't know, your car on eBay like 10 years ago, that was really easy.
Right.
Now it's hard. You have to know how to code. You know how to do the social marketing. You know how to do all these things. It's hard. So the have to step on your ego. You have to step on your knowledge, on your experience and everything. It's not enough. Nothing is enough. And you now in this 30-day confined space, it's hard,
Mm.
but it's fun.
Cool. And so, do you think, and I guess, no matter what the answer is, we know what to guess, but do you think that if someone were to take the approach that you took, where instead of, having like a huge kind of planning phase before anything happens and all that, but instead of just like doing it and putting it out there and going, would that still be viable, do you think, or is the planning phase now necessary?
I believe it all depends on the project itself, but I would say if I would do something different, I would take much more cautious approach. And the reason being is like the the crowdfunding space is saturated so much right now. It's like I saw that 3 years ago you can go to Hunger Gear. Like I'm talking only about the product space. So you could go and you give them content and they're happy to post it. Now they receive like 20, 100, 200 of them per day. So you have to be personal. You have to like know that you actually make the value like to the writers.
Right.
So I would say it's really, really hard to approach these people, and you have to build personal relationship with them rather than being personalized, like, like you spam to all this, people and say, well, this is my idea and it's amazing.
Right. Cool. Yeah. Okay. Um, I think we already kind of ran over this, but let's like clarify. Why did you
Okay.
choose the crowdfunding routes? Why not getting investors or something like that? Why crowdfunding?
It was never an idea in the first place. For me, I really wanted to explore the crowdfunding idea. Because to go to investors, that was not okay. So here's the thing, like the crowdfunding is not just to get the money. It's like it's actually one of the this is what appeals to me the most. The crowdfunding is your first try. What do you like? Is your idea viable enough?
Mm.
And if you don't get enough money, all you lose is your initial time investment and initial money investment on the prototype. But then you see the feedback from the people. Like I have never had a project that I can go and say like, okay, I'm going to change the world. No, I'm making a wallet. I found the problem as I traveled. And here's the thing. Am I the only idiot that doing that? And the only way to do it is through crowdfunding, because the people on the crowdfunding are people like myself. It's just like the average guys, just like go travel Southeast Asia. Did you ever have the problem bribing a cop in Bali? Okay, if we're in LA, yes, you can sell it. But when you go to, let's say, investors and thing, you have to go mainstream. No, I'm an artist. And the crowdfunding platforms are in a way, very creative and artistic platform. It allows you more options rather than to do the conventional way of actually just taking the money from someone.
Mm. Yeah. So it's kind of like it's both kind of a lean startup dream in that it's like it's the ultimate MVP. Um,
Exactly.
yeah, and it lets you not have to deal with bureaucracy.
Exactly. And the thing is, like, you know exactly how much you're worth. By the time the campaign is done, you see how much you raised. And like, whatever your ambitions are, whatever your egos say, how awesome or like how bad I am, it's just like, whatever you humble or whatever you cocky, you just see how much you worth.
Right.
That's how
Yeah.
much your project worth for real. This is the people, this is your shit.
Right. It's like an
So
objective review. There's no emotion involved.
exactly. It's like exactly. It's irrelevant. And this is like if you tapped in, if you did your job well, this is what it is.
Wow. That is. No, I haven't had it put to me like that. That's actually pretty. Like that's a huge kind of like, oh my god, that's something I want. You know what I mean?
No, exactly. Like, like every one of us, like all of us, we have the backgrounds and the shit we went through and the fucked up childhoods and like entitlement for certain things. But here's
Right.
the thing. Can you do that shit? Yes, I can. Okay, prove it. Okay, this is how much you're worth. It's
Right.
15 grand right now. You worth that much. Are
It's
you
kind of
happy?
it's kind of the concept of like you know like the entrepreneur cannot survive doing a Kickstarter, right? Because the result will be you failed or you succeeded. There's no in
There's no
between.
middle point.
Yeah.
Exactly. And this is the thing. It's just like, can you keep on doing that? Can you lower your ambition? Maybe your idea is not that valuable. Can you listen to people? Because you've vested so much. Like from my experience, and it's not just the Kickstarter, but like when you create the product, like you invest so much into it in design, like sleepless nights. No one cares. Who gives a shit? Can you deliver? Does it matter? Does it matter to other people? Yeah, your life matters. Like you've spent like hundreds of hours and invented this little prototype. But this is like, how much does it worth? How much does it worth to people?
Mm.
And you put it for judgment, but then you have to put so much effort to attract even just attention to your product and say, can you please take a look at that?
Right. Yeah.
Did I deliver my message? And my third attempt was a big step on my ego and going through all my friends and everyone is like, maybe you're missing something, but I cannot see clearly because I'm invested so much emotionally into this project. I'm like, okay, yeah, I can see that, but I can't, but I'll do it anyway. And when you do it and when you succeed, that is the best benefit.
Yeah. Yeah. Now you launched on Indiegogo all three times, was it, or did you do one of them on Kickstarter?
I did Indiegogo, Kickstarter, and Kickstarter.
Right. Okay. So, um, that's actually beautiful because you've had experience with the two kind of titans. Why did you end up choosing Kickstarter, and what's the difference?
Kickstarter has got way much foot traffic. That's number one.
Hmm.
They index on Google much better. They have much more attention of media that actually want some sort of content. I wasn't one of them. Like, I didn't get any media exposure just for the hell of it. I had to work for it. But again, 2 years ago when I had this idea, it was easier.
Cool. And what was the total cost for the successful one?
Okay,
Of running the campaign?
for the second one, because I hired another company to do my media, um, excluding the prototype, it cost me about $4,000 upfront. And including the prototype, I was invested before even doing anything about $12,000.
Wow. Okay. Cool. Wow.
Yeah.
That's not minor.
Yeah. So technically, with the Kickstarter, I barely making my money back.
Hmm. I hear that's a common thread. It's more kind of like the ability to start the business than it is the, ability to actually be profitable immediately. It's more like it's a Kickstarter.
Again, like we're talking about just my project. Like there are projects that are overnight successes. Like the people tapped into a perfect niche. Some were calculated, some were just pure luck. Mine was a hard work. If I would know how much it's gonna take, I would never do it. Let's put it this way. I would never do the product. I'm not saying I'm going to do the crowdfunding platform, but I would never do the product that I'm actually doing.
Right. And what about for the successful one? How much did that one cost you?
I didn't hear you.
What about for the successful campaign? How much did that cost?
I still didn't hear you.
Is this better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. What about for the successful campaign? How much did that one cost?
None. I did everything myself.
So just the prototype cost, which is constant.
No. It was prototype cost plus the failed campaigns, which cost me another $5,000. It's not fair to say that I cannot put a price on it.
Right.
But the thing is, it took me hours and hours of sleepless nights to do it. I had to learn how to do video editing within 24 hours. So to say that, it's like, it was an amazing learning curve, and it, in a way, paid off.
Right on.
But now, if we're going to go further, I saw your next question is like, the fulfillment process, or the troubles that I had down the road. Number one, Kickstarter tried to release my funds 3 times. Without any explanations, my funds were delayed a month and a half.
Well,
so I supposed to deliver my wallets in August. I got my funds in July instead of June. So in the between, my manufacturers had to give out the space for other projects because I couldn't pay them ahead of time.
Right.
So I was not just delayed a month. I just delayed like 2 or 3 months that I cannot relate to my backers. And now it's just like, it's this month of delay. And again, like they did it 3 times without any explanations, no change in banking information. I called my banks all the time. They're like, we don't see anything. You have to get more information. Kickstarter does not communicate at all. Like you send them an email, like 3 weeks later they say, oh, we sent you a payment again. I was like, yeah, you did it before and it canceled, and it canceled again. And I'm like, what is the problem? And they say, oh, we're going to release it again next week. Like, you're doing the same, so there's no communication from the Kickstarter.
Wow.
And on the 3rd attempt, I actually got the money, which was like way too late. And like all my suppliers gave up on me pretty much. Like, are you serious about it? And I was like, yeah. So I had to communicate with my backers. I had to communicate with my suppliers. And now my suppliers just delivering, and they're doing such an amazing job actually. Like, because from what they told me, like I barely could get on their machines in December because of this delay. And I had to deliver in August existing product. So now I'm actually like going like in about 2 weeks, I have to, they promised to deliver the full product. And like, for example, titanium wallets that I'm doing here in Canada, the price tripled over the last week.
Why?
Because the new machines that they got, it takes an hour to mill 1 plate. And to mill 1 plate is my cost $60 an hour.
So wait, did they upgrade slower
without the price of the material or anything like that, or assembling. So technically I lost my, so basically the machines that I was supposed to be on, they're gone. They go into the space and aircraft industry. So they put me to another machines. And this machine, instead of like 30 minutes, it takes an hour to mill. So my price tripled just to make just the plates. We're talking just the plates. Yeah. So, but again, like this is something I could never expect. And technically and honestly, it's just because the Kickstarter delayed it for 1 month.
Right.
In my head, I had the most perfect setup ever. And I thought like after 6 years in contract manufacturing and quality control, I can nail it. I can go to the Kickstarter and can nail it and I can deliver earlier and see where I am. And I'm not blaming anyone for that. It just happens. Like I didn't think that this kind of things might happen to me.
Right. Yeah. I'm guessing
But
one
it's
part of
happening.
the takeaway for that is like when you're making the budget, assume that it's going to be more expensive than you thought.
Exactly. And the thing is, it's like you have to be really, really conservative. And the thing is, this is why I see, and again, like once again, every project is so different. Um, like I mentored like a few people from Russia that do the projects, and I mean, certain projects are such a huge success, like overnight success. They're like doing bracelets, and they do in the basement. You know, they have no MOQ. They don't have machines. They don't have like my supply chain is so complicated. And this is why I say that my project was flawed in a way. This is my ego saying is like, I know so much, I can nail it down. Well, I couldn't. Something came up that I could never expect.
Interesting. Yeah. One thing actually I've been wondering, from the failed campaigns, what were your key takeaways? Where did you finally realize like, oh, this is what went wrong, and then applied that and succeeded?
I outsourced too much to people that didn't care.
That's really just it. It's just like, don't let other people do it.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I just thought, as long as I'm good at manufacturing and controlling the site, marketing and everything else, someone can take care of it. And that's when I realized it's just like, no, no one gives a shit.
Gotcha.
Because
Okay.
no one will understand your product as much as you would. No one would care about your product as much as you would. All they care, they have their own system that it's supposed to work. No, as a creator of the project, you have to be good or like semi-good. Like you cannot outsource everything to everyone. You have to understand everything what's going on around your project. It could be social marketing. It could be like ad campaigns, Google ads, Facebook, everything. You have to be not perfect at that, but at least you have to understand how it goes. And you have to have always control over what's going on. Never outsource your project fully. It's
Right.
always nice to have someone's hand and tell you like you're doing okay. Just keep up a good work. We'll help you with this. We'll help you with this. But never outsource anything. No one's gonna do anything good for you except yourself, because no one would understand your project that well. No one would understand how many sleepless nights you had. No one understand how much effort you put into this or thought. It's your job
Right.
as a
No
creator.
one cares the way you care. Like a creator's passion is
Exactly.
passionate, and it's internal.
Exactly. And this has to be throughout the project, throughout everything, like the updates. You have to keep people engaged. You have to keep people up. Like you have to like talk to them. You have to be personal with each and every one of them. And you can never outsource these things
Actually, that leads into
from my
like a great
perspective.
when it comes to being personal with all the people, and I'm guessing that means also all the contributors. Both, how did you like do communication with the contributors? Like, how often do you send them a message? How often do you all that? And also, how did you manage this fiasco with Kickstarter? Kind of telling people like, hey, there's a problem, and like, how did you present it to
You have to be honest. You have to be upfront. You have to be and go like, this is what I'm doing. Because in the end of the day, this is the expectations of the creator. We're not talking about the big business. We're talking about like an average Joe that come up like, oh, I have an idea, like the light bulb, and I'm doing it on the Kickstarter. That's the beauty of the Kickstarter too. You have to be personal. You have to like, if you have a problem, communicate it. Get on your ass, get over your shit, and just like say, hey, people, I fucked up. I didn't calculate it. I'm sorry. But you know what? I'm doing my best. And this is also for the creator. You just have to do that, but also don't beat yourself to death. It's just like there's assholes out there, and they think it's like an Amazon.com. Like they buy the stuff. No, it's not.
Right.
No, it's not. A creative space. I'm doing my best. Don't give me shit. You know,
Right.
like I'm doing my best. Like, and I find that 99% of people, they're compassionate. Like they expect your product. They like it. You know, they want to do it. So just just be personal all the time. Be strong. Always talk to people, no matter what happens. You know, like, and if you could see on my project, like I get up and it's just like I put one on the Kickstarter, I put one on Facebook page, so everybody's like up to date. What's going on? It's like, guys, you know, like, here's the latest news. This is what happens. You don't wait for people to start posting comments like, "Oh, what's going on? What's the latest update?" No, be upfront. Just go ahead. Just like whatever the small is, just talk to people, and people are fine. People are good people. You know, they understand that you're trying, and that is why they invested in you. They don't give a shit about your product. Technically, it's just like it's a game for them. So just be honest with them. Just like say, guys, like, okay, well, I screwed up. Or like, for example, I had my Stripe account was connected to my other business, and when I used the Becker kit, which is actually a bad idea, bad idea. So when I started to charge people's credit cards, they saw a different company name,
Oh.
and they started with chargebacks.
Oh shit.
Yes, exactly. And like now I have more chargebacks from the Berkeley kit. Like everyone like, as long as you don't have a product in hand ready to ship, don't do Berkeley kit. Berkeley kit is a trap. It's a bad thing. You're so vulnerable. People on the Berkeley kit, because they do pre-orders, they don't understand the Kickstarter. They're buying the product. They're pre-ordering the product.
Right.
So that was a big mistake on my life. But again, like I didn't know.
Yeah.
I raised like about $2,000-3,000 on the Becca kit, but the chargebacks and the shit that I had to deal with Stripe. Now I have like I created another set of problems for myself just
Right.
doing that. Although the people on the Becca kit, they're very supportive, they're very upfront, but if you know you can't deliver on time, like basically if you don't have a product in hand, don't do Becca kit.
Yeah. Okay.
It's hard. It's really hard. And people like, and then now you have to deal with credit card fraud. You have to deal with the credit card delays. You have to get with the chargebacks, like a totally different issues you don't have to deal as a creator. Like now you have problems here. And I can see how many people get so overwhelmed with this stuff and like losing it.
Mm.
But yeah, just my advice: just don't do it.
So, okay, in that case, what do you do? What do you do to get payments, all that, to get the money? What's
No, everything is okay. Like I have like a few chargebacks. I have about like $1,000 in chargebacks from the back kit. A lot of people actually being compassionate. They reverse the chargebacks. But once what I did, I posted on Facebook that the pre-orders are open for the public. So the people who like my project outside of Facebook, they are charging back. So what I'm doing right now, keeping people up to date. I'm getting my first titanium wallets, the first founders wallets coming up next week. But also like the packaging is from Vietnam, and I have to wait for another 3 weeks. Just keeping people updated, keeping everyone happy. That's it. Just keeping the best positive attitude and keeping my backers informed. That's all.
cool? Um, Let me ask you to go back to like the making of the campaign, like before it went live.
Yes.
So you said you just made your video like on your porch. Did you just like put the
Yes.
camera on a thing and just talk to it, like with like no script or anything?
Literally.
Wow.
Literally. Exactly. Nothing. It's just like, there was no script. You talk from your heart because again, my second campaign was all scripted and everything. It didn't work.
Right.
Just It took me exactly 26 hours from start, like actually like unholstering my camera and posting the whole campaign on the Kickstarter. So what I want to say is like, this is important. So just be personal, get your message out in your words. Don't think too much.
Mm.
The second is write to every blogger you can, but be personal to your bloggers. Don't make a template and send it to them. They feel it, they smell it. Don't do it. Always put a link to your high-res pictures in the end of the email. Always. They would never bother. Like a lot of people that actually posted about me, they never bothered writing back to me.
Right. They just took
I just like from the Google alerts, I saw that someone posted about me.
wow, interesting.
Yeah, be personal. Figure out who actually does this, like whatever writing you in your field within this particular blog. Another thing, cross promotion is crucial, crucial. But never ask. It's like I live in Montreal right now. All these bums asking me for money and the free cigarette. That's how it is in the Kickstarter, like a crowdfunding campaign. Oh, can you please? No. What I did, I actually found every update, before I posted an update, I found 5 great projects that I personally like within my field, like in this case, travel, like titanium and stuff like that. I went and backed them up.
Hmm.
And then I learned about their project. I watched their videos. And when I did my update, I gave them the links. I gave them like, and by the way, what's going on in the Kickstarter? Meanwhile, boom, boom, boom. These guys. Like I learned their biography. I didn't ask them for anything. And once I did this, I got my link and I wrote to them, hello, Mr. Like, blah, 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 blah. Here's what I'm doing. Like, I love your project. And the thing is, like, from my experience, I think we're in the same non-competitive space, but we have value to our backers. And here's what I did. I gave, like, an exposure to you over my update because I think, like, you did a great project. And I backed you up personally. And I know that your backers, this is your know-how. This is people that you worked so hard for. And I know, like, I would understand if you wouldn't give me a shout out. But if you could, and if you think my project is good enough, can you please give me a shout out?
Mm.
And you know what? Like, 3 out of 10 gave me a shout out. But this 3 out of 10 gave me an amazing exposure.
Right.
And amazing. They went personal with my shit. They backed me up. They bought the most expensive product from me. They became backers. They blasted to their people. You know, we're friends on Facebook now. We created relationship. This is what is important. This is what I see is lacking in the cross promotion. Instead of like they going quantity, and see how much it's gonna get. I would say get personal. This is the thing. I think this is the key. Get personal with a Kickstarter. It's
Mm.
not a business. It's your baby. You're doing this. Do it well.
Right.
Don't think
And
about money. Think about people because you already invested so much in the product. You know there's value. So do on the value side rather than on the numbers side.
and you're saying get personal with everybody, with your customers, with cross promoters, with bloggers.
Absolutely. Absolutely, and that is why I'm telling you, it's not a full-time job. It's 3 full-time jobs a day.
Mm.
You have to get up. You have to step on it. No matter how you hunt over, sober, drunk, just like get on this shit. Always.
Right.
Do it. Do it. Because you would never be successful without these people. Don't use them. Be with them, like sell this, but not sell in the salesman world, but be personal. This is what I'm doing. Please help me. And before asking for help, give something in return.
Cool. Now, you mentioned for the video, you just put it and talked to it, but you also mentioned for the writing, your girlfriend who's a copywriter came over and fixed that. So,
I'll tell you exactly what happened because as a creator of the project, we invest so much time with the product or the service, whatever it can be, that we lose the perspective of the outside world because
Mm.
we know everything, insides and out. So when we present it, people like, I don't understand. And you're just like, what don't you understand?
Right.
What don't you understand? Yeah, but we forget that we spent like a year doing that shit every fucking day for 20 hours a day.
Right.
So for us, there's no gray area, right? But it's hard to get out. It's just like, unless you're like a very cautious individual that can like, this is what people might not understand. But we tend to like, as charismatic people, we just get to like, we lose the perspective of real world, like of regular people.
Mm.
And that is why it's really important to someone who's like not invested emotionally or financially in your project to look at it as like, what was the question again? Why are you doing that?
Right.
And
Yeah.
this is something that we have to like also back up and just like talk and just talk through and have someone to take charge. Oh, I think that's what you mean. It's not what you said, but I think that's what you mean.
Right.
So, and then write it down. I think that's where your job is. And then you just like, oh, I think that's what you mean. And then you write it down and present it to them. Is that what you mean? It's like, oh shit, yeah, that is really cool, by the way. Yeah. That's what I mean.
Cool. I always equate, when I'm talking to copywriters who are like learning, I say it's kind of the equivalent of when you tell your grandma to like add you on Facebook and she has no idea what you're talking about. Like to you, that's almost an
Yeah,
instinctual action, whereas she's like,
exactly,
"What's Facebook? I saw it on the news." Like you
exactly,
really have to
exactly,
take baseline.
exactly. You have to allow in your space those people, but also like it's a very fragile. Like every creator, and again, like we're talking about different projects again. Like every creator has got its own background and tolerance to the criticism and everything like that. But this is something where you have to find the personal approach and say, okay, here's what we're gonna do.
Right. Um, for your rewards, to like kind of follow the frame of copy, but also to narrow down on that, why did you choose the rewards that you chose? Like in that in
Okay,
order and all that.
rewards has to be simple. It's like when you go to the restaurant and you know this restaurant has been like I live in Montreal. You've been in Montreal. It's like depuis 1926. Why they are here since 1926?
Right.
Yeah, because they have like 3 sandwiches on the menu.
And they're all
And they
excellent.
do it consistently. It might not even be the best sandwich, but for the last 100 years, they did it the same way every freaking day. It might not be the best. Who cares? But so far, it's just like, you have to be simple. This is what I do. Once you start adding, and it like becomes a logistical nightmare, engraving, all this kind of stuff, unless you have something in place like really legit up front. And again, from my perspective, the more options you have, the more mistakes you can have. And like English is my second language, and my English teachers say, please speak with very short sentences because the longer the sentence, the more mistakes you're gonna make.
Right.
Speak
Makes
short
sense.
sentences, people will understand you better. So that's the same way. My second campaign, I had like about 9 rewards. The last one I had 4.
Right.
It works. Just don't overcomplicate things. Make it simple to people to engage.
Like no
Make it
analysis
simple.
paralysis, no
Nothing.
freaking
Yeah.
superfluous fucking additions of
Don't.
engravings and shit. Just simple.
Exactly. Shut up and take my money.
Right.
That's the call
Yeah.
to action. Shut up and take my money.
Right.
You already sold me. Like, that's it. Just make it simple for me. Don't overcomplicate shit.
Yeah.
That's the way it works. I think, and I mean, again, like, different projects are different. I'm talking only about the walls. I'm talking about like the physical product. maybe if we're talking about the games and stuff like that, or maybe like some other perks, like, I don't know. I have seen really complicated, successful projects, and I mean, good for them. I don't understand it. I didn't support them. But from my perspective, this is what it is. If you have a physical product, make it simple. Keep it simple.
Yeah. Um, Now, in order to, once you have the campaign done, get it out there, right? You contacted people for cross promotion. You personally contacted bloggers. Did you do any like social media stuff, anything on Reddit, anything like that?
I tried Reddit. Reddit didn't really work for me. It's maybe I'm an old school right now. I'm 35 years old, but it's just like I don't want to deal with negativity,
Yeah,
and it's not even emotional. It's not. It's just like I have better time to do. Like I have better things to do than to be there.
yeah.
So Reddit didn't give me anything, but Facebook is important. Engage with people. Tell them to support you. I would say now, from my other experience, I would say Instagram should be your best friend.
Especially if you're a physical product, of course.
Yeah, I'm talking about the product. Yes, I'm talking about just the product, the physical product.
I totally understand that. Like, there's a company called Outlier that makes clothes, right? And they're always kind of
Mhm.
publishing like like back shots about like they have a new button on their pants and like here's a shot of
Yeah,
the back and I'm so psyched about this because I love the
exactly.
product.
Exactly, exactly. So we're just talking like all our conversation about the product, but get on the Facebook. And I honestly, like, I tried to get into Twitter for so long, failed, failed, failed. Like, no, I'm still there. Like, I have a
I feel
bunch of
you. I've done the
followers.
same thing.
It's just like I don't feel the value in it at all,
Yeah.
unless you have no life and you like. And the same for Reddit, unless you have no life and you just like sit there 24/7. I mean, I can see the value in that, but it's not me.
Mm.
Like Instagram, I get it. Facebook, I get it. But the Reddit and Twitter, they expect you an immediate answer for any troll, you know? And
Yeah.
it's just like, no, 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 sorry.
And
I'm
also
not playing that game.
one thing to notice on Reddit for like the guys listening who want to like do some Reddit stuff, I've done some Reddit stuff myself, and you're gonna find this right. If your shit is awesome, it will get
Hmm.
upvoted, and every comment will like tell you suck. Like
Yeah,
it is
exactly.
a weird dichotomy. Where like you get to the top of the page, people are buying your stuff, people are donating, but there's so much hate in the comments.
Oh, exactly. And this is the thing. It's just like, it's a choice. Eddie, it's a choice. Like, do you want to be in that? And there's certain charisma in people. They like that. This is their life.
Yeah,
And I respect that, but I choose not to participate in that.
yeah, and you have to know that like you have to have some fortitude because trolls are assholes.
No, and it's like, and here's the thing, like you can turn the troll into a customer. I did this with a few products. I actually did the raffle, and I picked the worst troll to be the winner of the raffle.
You gotta
See,
walk me through the
you mean the
psychology of that.
personally, a private. Yes. So, but it's hard work. It's like, it's something that you have to choose. And we're going a little bit away from the Kickstarter
Yeah,
campaign.
yeah, we are.
So let's stay there.
Yeah. All right.
So, yeah, with a Kickstarter, I mean, just do your best. Like, engage as many people as you can. Try to explain your product, but don't listen to the noise. Because this is something, every creator is an artist in a way,
Mm.
and it hurts when you hear bad things. So don't be in the social space when there's all this noise. Go to the spaces when there's more, when it's more reciprocal.
Mm. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Once the product's successful, then you can do whatever. Then you can hire people and use Amazon. Once you finish your campaign, use Amazon. The
Right.
shit works.
Right on.
Don't bother with Shopify. That's
um.
it.
along the same method of like social media, what about leveraging your backers once they back? So like somebody gives, I'm in, here's my money. Would you then say like, hey, great, now tell your friends?
Yeah, you do that. Like you, and again, like it depends on the charisma of people. Like, I have been in, like back and forth with emails with a few people that their campaigns were really successful. They were really pushy, and it works for them. For me, it wasn't the case because like I was more, that wasn't my goal, and my product is more complicated. So I was not really looking for more backers per se. So again, like this for me was like, I wanted to be successful, but I would not be as happy for, let's say, if I'll get $1 million, I wouldn't know what to do right now.
Right.
That would be stupid for me. Like, it was my goal. But for some people it is. And this is, I think it's great, but this is not what I can comment on.
Hmm. All right.
Especially when we're talking about the product.
Yeah. I want to be cognizant of your time, so let's make this the last question if that's cool with you.
Okay,
Cool.
please.
So if you could start all over again from scratch, right? You haven't even
Yeah.
thought of the idea of a wallet even, right? Um, what would you do differently, and what would you do the same?
Okay, what I would do differently, I would pick the product that is not so logistically intense. That's number one. Number two, I would pick up, I would take more time to prepare it. I would take more time to, like, what I would do, I would create the project on the Kickstarter. I would make more samples. Definitely. I would create like 100 samples. Something that would cost me less, but I will send it everywhere. I'll create the buzz way before, maybe 3 months before even the project starts, and maybe even let it die a little bit, and then launch it. That's what I would do different. And then with this 30 days, basically like all the legwork and all the job I was doing within the 30 days of my campaign. What I would do, I put the 90 days before my campaign in all this effort and hard work and not do anything, sit back and relax and see what happens over the next 30 days.
Right. And just kind of talk
That's what I would
scripture.
do. Exactly. Because this is like you put 90 days, you are no under pressure of time, you focus, you do what you can, and then this is the result. And then you can tweak it, you can like steer it, you can like put bits and pieces over there, but you're not stressed, you're not invested, you just steer the campaign instead of like, oh shit, like hold on, where it's gonna take me, you know?
Right.
It's more calculated, it's more, saddled, it's more, precise, I would say.
Cool. And what would you do the same?
The same, cross promotion, reach out to bloggers, be personal, get back to backers every single time you have a problem, make fool of yourself, don't be afraid of it, be personal.
Cool.
Don't be afraid to be a fool. Because you are. Everyone is. And everybody understands that.
Yeah.
Just get out there, talk to people. Because of these people, you are successful.
Hmm.
They believe in you. You owe them.
I think they'd rather see, a flawed human than a lie or a lack of
Exactly.
communication.
Exactly. That's it. That's all I gotta say on my campaign.
Cool. Excellent. Cool, man. Oh, and I guess tell people like quickly about Slab and what it is, and if they want it, where they can go get it.
Slab is basically, it's a travel wallet that is actually like, it's derived from the Magic Wallet. This is my titanium prototype, which I actually kind of have right now. So, I have no cash. I'm back in Canada. I have no cash. But it has the slots for the credit cards on the sides. So you can have, you can put a credit card here.
Mm.
You'll can you get me some cash, my love? Jewel, can you get me some cash, please? Any cash. Thank you. Any cash money. Money? The bills. Yes, please. I'm on the call. I'm demonstrating the wallet. So you put the card over here. Here you have an iPhone tool. You know, like to remove the SIM cards, and there's 3 slots for the SIM cards, and in the new one you have actually even more. But this is the way it works. Let's say you want to put the big money here, and you just like flip, and it's here.
Cool. Well, and let's say like you have to bribe a cop, right? So you show them the other side.
Yeah. So you call them. Let's say this is like $1. So you open it. I got only $1.
Right.
But when you go to the restaurant, well, here's my 20.
Nice.
Or $1.
It's almost a magic trick.
But it is. It is a magic wallet. And it's a slab of titanium. Like, you can actually make a shuttle out of it. I don't know.
Right, like that thing will take the use of travel.
Exactly. Especially, like, in the cash societies. Like, whenever you, like, Eddie, you there. You know what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
And
yeah.
all you need is just, like, you might have, like, a driver's license here. You know, like, one credit card here. And the $20 here. And again, like, you just like, all you do is just you put it in, and you're gonna flip, and here's your $20. Right here. Or there. Maybe it's, this is all it is. And this is your wallet.
That's pretty awesome. And so, okay, if the viewers want to get one of their own, where do they go?
They can get it either aluminum or titanium, and now we actually, like, you caught me in an interesting time. Maybe, yeah. Or you can actually have just like the insert like that. It's black. You won't see, but this is like for 2 memory cards and 2 SIM cards. So instead of like central plate that already have the cards for the SIM cards, you can have this card for the SIM card. And just like put it here. And again, it's just like it's like modular system. That's what I'm working on right now.
Sweet, I like that. And is it already up on Amazon?
No, yet. I don't have the. I'm waiting for my production samples. Not the samples, but I'm waiting for my first. Like, I have to fulfill my Kickstarters. Then it's gonna go up on Amazon. And I already have a scene on TV proposal.
Oh, dude, cool.
No, it's not. They really push me on the price, and I say no.
Oh, okay.
I'm not doing disposable products. This is who I am. Like, no disposable products. It's gonna be expensive. It's good. No, I'm not doing $2 products.
Yeah, 100% agree.
There you go.
I want to like get a notification when it comes out for consumer use. Is there a list I can send up?
Tell them the clients. Never call them consumers. They're people. Yeah, it's gonna be there. I'll keep you posted.
Perfect. Cool. All right, sweet. This was amazing. This was excellent.